Pixar's Elio was out this weekend, and I already know some of you had no idea. Others aren't sure what movie I'm even talking about. Well, let me just tell you, it is, without a doubt, one of the movies that I have seen this year. The Pixar that we used to know is well and truly dead, guys. So I'll tell you the good, the bad, the parental stuff, and finally the family scores, some of which were high, so stick around. Elio was one of the delayed projects in the wake of Bob Iger's return in 2022, probably because he knew how terrible they all were. Now, if the movie I saw this weekend is the improved version, I can't even imagine the horrific state that it must have been in. The best way that I can describe this thing is it's a Netflix movie, right? It's an animated void filler that you put on in the background while you scroll your phone or calm your kids down for a minute. You don't need to give this your full attention to know what's going on or how you're supposed to feel. It will tell you. Oh, quick aside though, like a broken clock, Netflix has a hit every now and again, and instead of boring Elio, you should be watching this movie, K-Pop Demon Hunters. Now, I know, that name sounds insane, which actually is kind of genius because we saw it pop up last week while we were searching for something else. We laughed, we watched a trailer like, let's look at this dumb thing, right? And then the animation looked kind of fun, and we thought, well, it's stylish at least. Whatever, we'll check it out. And it's surprisingly great. Anyway, let's get back to boring Elio. I know this is becoming an overused complaint, but this movie feels like the result of an AI prompt to make a Pixar movie. It's a Pinterest board flick. It's the amalgamation of multiple vibes and inspirations splattered haphazardly onto the screen for about 90 minutes instead of woven into the story, which again, coming from Pixar, this is sad. We had globalist world peace stuff. The aliens call themselves the Communiverse. There was a Lilo and Nani thing with Elio and his aunt, finding a sense of belonging story, accept your kids as they are bit. Weirdly, for Disney, there was a your kids are more important than your career, which was nice. There was you have to be a friend to make a friend, but also accept your own uniqueness because it's what makes you special. But also, you have to change if you want to be accepted into the Communiverse, which is an apt lesson in the dehumanizing nature of that philosophy. In a fresh and novel move, we were exploring childhood trauma, and you cannot at all definitely tell that most of the writers are millennials who are familiar with therapy speak. Leaving the theater, I told my wife, wow, that writer obviously has a broken relationship with their parents. Then I looked it up. The only non-millennial writer is Julia Cho from Turning Red. So, nailed it. The trouble with most writers who try to do trauma stories is that they can't see how easy it is for everybody to hate the trauma victim in question because they appear wildly selfish. Elio is tough to like for half or 2/3 of this movie. Like, yeah, his parents have died and his aunt is suddenly a parent and she's not ready. All of this makes sense. The problem is that his trauma kid responses are a bit too realistic, where he doesn't consider other people's feelings. He's pushing everybody away. He steals from a kid. He lies to everyone. So by the time he has some kind of arc and he makes a friend, it's kind of hard to care. In addition, the Communiverse Elio goes to is entirely pointless.
Are we in the secret club now? You're in. What do? We do secret things in secret.
He gets abducted. It's basically a luxury hotel where everyone sits around having drinks, congratulating themselves for being so peaceful and tolerant. Actually kind of accurate for people that sell communism. Most damning of all, though, is the art. This is terribly bland and basic by any standard, but the offices at Pixar should be flooded because of the mass seppuku from knowing that they allowed this to get to market. It's more of this disgusting modern Western animation, rounded, bean mouths, and shapeless. There's no environmental storytelling or interaction in a Pixar movie. The team obviously used the office therapy dog that I know they have to pick the colors, and much of it is so inspired by other works that Nintendo is prepping a lawsuit just on principle. It's not really hard for them, though. They can do copyright claims in their sleep. Just muscle memory at this point. Like the Communiverse is merely a more colorful oval egg ship from Guardians 2. The bad guy is Timu Captain Gontu. The Kami Tentacle Lady is almost 1-to-1 from Mune, which is another gem that you should be watching instead of this slop. The scary alien bad guys, who are actually just blob shapes, are from Home by DreamWorks, and no one should ever be inspired by that movie ever. The rest is horribly generic. Here are the head commies. Now, look at the only version of Lilo and Stitch that's ever been made. Here is the Grand Councilwoman, obviously wise and regal and in charge. Here's Gontu, clearly menacing and ready to solve problems by exploding them. Here's Pleakley, a goofy, nerdy environmentalist. Jumba is suggesting greed and paranoia with his girth and his extra eyes. Their design, their movement, everything reinforces these characters. But this crap? Random and pointless. Empty design on top of empty writing. The one big shining positive that I do really want to mention is Elio has a fantastic opening. We learn that he is traumatized by his parents' death. His aunt has no idea what to do and was on a big career path and is now struggling to find balance. Elio is into space and aliens because he wants belonging like the space probe we sent out, and he's a weirdo about it. Plus more, all in 10 minutes and without a big exposition dump. This movie is boring, but this intro, top notch. For you parents, this one is extremely tame, all right? No romance or sex stuff, no swearing or almost swearing, no jump scares, it's not too loud, there's no strobing lights, no gore. The only single iffy part is Elio's got a clone, it's made of goo, and as a distraction, it acts like a zombie to freak out some guards, and then they do a little horror movie kinda bit, but then he turns into goo and it's played for laughs. My 5-year-old has no fight reflex. It's all flight. We used to have to get her indoors before closing the garage door because she injured herself fleeing from the sound. She was not scared at all. So I think you're all safe. I think it's just worth mentioning. All right, I've complained enough. I was bored, but here are my family scores. Overall, owing to the average nature of the movie, these are pretty average scores, except my wife and my oldest daughter loved this, and they wanted the very best for Elio and his aunt and his new purple slug friend. There was lively debate between them and me and the second oldest, who were bored to tears. I asked everybody if they were excited to watch it again when it hit streaming, so that's what's after each of the scores. My boys all liked the friendship between Elio and Purple Slug and the theme of friendship in general, and they thought everything was really funny. They all, however, were bothered by wasted concepts such as the angry alien warrior species that never do any angry warrior stuff, or how the commie aliens don't do much except exist and provide a set piece for this movie to take place. They wanted to see aliens who did weird, different alien things, and got none. Just about everyone mentioned the voice acting and how good all the characters sounded. Overall, everyone left the theater feeling happy, in good spirits, and enjoying the friendship is magic ending. A big shock was that no one needed a bathroom break, so it did hold the smaller ones' attentions. The most common complaints, though, were the messy art style, the crazy pace where things feel rushed, and the many unused ideas and characters that end up feeling like clutter since they don't affect the story. Look, it would be hyperbole to tell you that this is like a nuclear disaster. It's fine. It's okay. Compared to Pixar's former glory, this is really bad, though. If you go see it, I think your family's gonna have an okay, maybe even a good time, and then they'll probably forget most of the movie within a couple of days. I strongly recommend you just wait and rent this one. It'll be streaming in 2 months. Just watch the K-pop thing between now and then. But what are your thoughts? Were you or are you excited to go see this one? What are your speculations on the original story before Iger demanded the fixes? If you have seen it, what'd you think? I look forward to reading your comments, and I appreciate you watching. See you next time.